Concerning WWE's flagship show, WWE RAW, or as many of you know it, Monday Night Raw, why do us, as fans, we just don't get that excitement? We just don't get that aura. You don't get that feeling. You don't get the goosebumps like we once used to. Hell, I'm not, we can go all the way back to the Attitude Era, okay? When Raw was at its highest. When Raw was defined with attitude and compelling storylines, and Raw was one of the number one rated shows, and it could definitely keep you on the edge of your seat and to wonder and question and draw you in as to what's going to happen next week, what's going to be the next chapter. Triple H says in this day and era that in the WWE it's like a chapter book, but it's never ending. There's always a new chapter. There's always something new. There's always something set. But here's the thing. Is it the long drawn out matches on Monday Night Raw? Is it the rematches over and over and over with the same combo of wrestlers? Back in the Attitude Era, it was very storyline, very promo heavy. Why can't we have a fine line between 50 and 50? Half wrestling, half storylines. The WWE doesn't put as much emphasis on storylines. They don't enhance the angles on Monday Night Raw. Remember, like I said, I'm going back to a time when you would literally, you would race home, you would fly home to watch Monday Night Raw because you didn't want to miss a minute. Now, listen, I'm not taking anything away from the competitors. I'm not taking anything away from the superstars. But does the WWE ever, take a step back, and do they ever review or look at their ratings and see the slow decline week after week after week? And they still have not got up to Attitude Era ratings, Ruthless Aggression Era ratings. Now, listen, once again, I understand that WWE's ratings have been on a slow decline, but at what time is Vince McMahon or Triple H or the creative team or the powers that be, or hell, even the USA Network, do you think the USA Network are happy? Listen, I know the WWE are making money. The WWE is very profitable. They're on social media, they're on Facebook, they're on Twitter. They have this huge presence. The world knows about the WWE universe, okay? But there is only so much you can take, and there's only so much you can see before it gets old, repetitive, and boring. And the WWE are just going through the motions, and that's my problem with Monday Night Raw. And here's the thing, though. You can blame it all on the WWE, but the WWE can't take all the blame. You also have to put blame on the other wrestling promotions like TNA and ROH, who are not forcing the issue, because you see, the WWE was only... they had their back against the wall in the Attitude Era because they were forced to put out a better product. And I'm not even talking about, let's turn Raw TV 14. Let's turn Raw TV 14. No, I'm not even talking about turn Raw TV 14. I'm not even talking about, we need to hear, the bad language. I mean, look at TNA Impact Wrestling. They're TV 14, and look how good that's turning out for TNA Impact Wrestling, right? I just think that the WWE needs to have a better understanding of their ratings, and they have to step back and say, all right, well, what can we improve? What can we enhance? What can we add to the show? How can we change the dynamic here? And I understand there's a lot of kids. I understand there's a lot of children. I understand there's a lot of girls that are watching the WWE. And I understand that WWE is PG, but they can work within the parameters of a PG programming, because WWE in the Attitude Era, a lot of it was PG. SmackDown has always been PG. Right now, we don't have one reason to watch SmackDown. At least there might be one or two reasons to watch Monday Night Raw, because yes, there are still storylines. I'm not saying there's no storylines. I'm not saying there's no storytelling. It's just not like it used to be. And I understand we're in a different world, but WWE Raw is not evolving. Instead, they're going backwards, and they're not really going back to what brought them to the dance. And I think the WWE right now, they're being a little lazy. Once again, they're in pilot mode, and they're just throwing you match after match after match. Now, listen, I'm all for the Divas getting extra time. The Divas are getting anywhere from 1 to 2 matches on every Monday Night Raw, and that's all fine and well. That's good. The Divas are getting more time. But that's what we have pay-per-views for, so you can give matches time, so you can let them grow, so you can let them expand, so they can go in there and tell a story. Monday Night Raw should be used as a purpose to get you to the pay-per-view. Why are we watching this match? Why are we interested in this match? There's so many variables that goes into this, and I know I did a little rant before about this, but this is particularly just about Monday Night Raw And once again, I'm not asking for an Attitude Era Raw. I'm not asking for a Ruthless Aggression Raw. I'm not asking for a brand split. I'm not asking for a brand extension. A draft. I'm not asking for any of those things. Listen, no blood, no guts. You don't steel chair shots to the head. I don't need that. I just want compelling, intriguing TV that gets you from one week to the next instead of just expecting the fans to tune in. Because listen, I'm one of those fans that, the WWE expects to tune in. Because, the WWE always adopts to, new fans, a new demographic. And it's, you look in the audience, yes, there are kids, there are adults, mature, immature, all different races and origins and disabilities and what have you. And that's fine. The WWE still has that demographic in the 18 to 49. But you know what? The mentality is, there's a lot of children watching, so we can't make things too dynamic. We can't make things too difficult to understand. So let's just have match by match by match to fill time. A 20-minute match, a 30-minute match, a 45-minute match. And listen, here's the thing about Raw. Here's another thing about Monday Night Raw. The thing is creative. There's so many people on it. There's too many people in one kitchen, and they all got their hands on it and thinking they know what they're doing. But Raw is so easy to write nowadays, okay? Because they don't have to think about a whole lot. They don't have to think outside the box. The creative team in WWE today, they have it good. Hell, I wish I was on the creative team because all they do is book match after match after match, not giving us, the viewer, the fan, a reason to, why is this match happening? Why are these two guys in the ring? Why are these two guys performing? What's happening here? And once again, how about you split it? Half storyline, half matches. Instead, Monday Night Raw is a full 3 hours of just matches. Now, yes, you'll get the occasional backstage promo. I understand that. But how about all the replays? How about all the times that the WWE has rematches? It's a bunch of replays, it's a bunch of rematches, and that's not what you want to see. That's not what's going to keep the viewer tuned in. Why do you think at that third hour, and that's another thing, Raw being 3 hours, it's just too much. It is. It's way too much because you're just booking 3 hours of nothing. You just match after match after match. There needs to be more continuity. There needs to be more consistency. The WWE's inconsistencies and their ability to book or lack of booking, or the WWE changing the script as the show is on, is not good. And like I said, if I were on the creative team, boy, do I have it easy. It's not like I have to think weeks in advance or months in advance. Well, how can we book this show? Because there's not much storylines. And when they do feed these superstars their lines, it's so overproduced. It's so manipulated. It's not coming from the heart. It's not genuine. These superstars are not an extension of themselves. They are being scripted down to word by word. We all know Seth Rollins would be a hell of a lot better on the mic if it weren't for him being fed his lines. These guys should go out there and be an enhancement of their character and what they represent, what they stand for, and it should come from the heart. But this is just me. Like I said, I know I did a video a couple of days ago on my problem with WWE in 2015 and what they need to fix and how they need to handle the situation. But we do have a situation on our hands where children, where if you're a 10-year-old, you could book Monday Night Raw. Well, this guy's going to face this guy. This girl's going to face this girl. This superstar against this superstar. This diva versus this diva. Oh, we're going to have a championship match tonight. Well, I mean, we're going back to the days when, you're talking about lackluster wrestling. The matches aren't lackluster. Listen, I said this before and I'll say it again. The matches are better now than they were in the Attitude Era. But the storylines and the story and the ability to tell a story was a hell of a lot better because then they would bring that story into the pay-per-view and give you a reason to want to watch the pay-per-view. It's almost as if the WWE is trying to be competitive with UFC as it concerns the matches and the validity of the matches and the strategy of the matches. Listen, I'm not going to take anything away from the superstars. They go in there and they bust their ass, but there needs to be a reason. Why as fans do we have to tune into Raw the next week? We're not getting that example. We're not getting the gist of why watch next week. What's going to keep us compelled? Why is the WWE going to draw us in? What's so great about Raw to watch the next week? Because you're not missing a whole hell of a lot if you miss a couple weeks of Raw. You just get right back into things and, this guy's having the same rematch that he had 3 weeks ago. And listen, I've been a long-time fan. You're looking at a fan. I'm not just coming on here and being a WWE apologist and coming up with all kinds of things and this and that. Listen, I've been a WWE fan through and through. I've never took a break. I've never went away. But these are just some of the things where a child could book Raw. Let's put these two guys in a match and let's put these two girls in a match. It's too simple. The WWE needs to think outside the box for Raw. Subscribe.